Okay, let's try that again. So we are playing Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr. We are playing as Tech Adept, mainly because Tech Adept is really cool. We're going to explain some good things about the game, some bad things about the game, here and there. We've skipped a tutorial because the tutorial is really boring. Basically, you're dumped on a planet full of Tyranids trying to recruit your interrogators and your associates who have all been murdered by the Tyranids. In one way, the Tech Adept gets the mission correct. In the other missions, you'll be dumped on a big inquisitorial ship that will be full of big bad boy nasties, and you've got no backup, which is ridiculous for Warhammer 40k. Inquisitors would not be going into a battle on their own, just on a ship. They'd be with a retinue, they'd be with an army, basically. So that's one of the things that got really wrong in it. Gameplay-wise, plays very much like Diablo. You can move the screen around, which makes a big help for some games, some levels. Right, we're going to start then. Let's get our character sorted out first. So the Tech Adept is about around summoning robots, basically, which again is quite wrong for some reason, because you'd never be summoning robots just like that, because there'd be priceless artifacts on Mechanicus. Right. So we're gonna do that. Right. One more. There we go. Okay. So if you're new to Warhammer 40k, the basic premise is it's 40,000 years, the year 40,000, and what we think is a totalitarian state in these days is pretty much utopia in the 40k universe. They're ruled over by a god emperor of mankind, who is basically a corpse on a throne, who looks over the empire with his psychic powers, or a god if you're the Imperium. There are so many factions in the 40k universe, it's hard to keep track of them all. The main ones are the Imperium of Mankind, Orcs, Eldar, Dark Eldar, Chaos, Necrons, and the Tyranids. Today I'll be talking mainly about the Imperium, who you'll be wondering why are called the good guys, but they actually are meant to be the good guys for some reason. So we are playing an Inquisitor, a Tech Adept Inquisitor. So he used to be a Tech Priest. Tech Priests basically venerate technology in all their glory. Some people say they like to have sex with toasters. Who knows? They seek out the hidden technologies and the lost technologies of mankind. Basically 40,000 years in the future, mankind's lost a lot of the stuff that they've learned over the past 40,000 years. In many ways, if you ever heard of a system called Numenera, it's very much like that. They're living on the relics of the past times. The Inquisitors are given power over everything in the Imperium. They have the word of God, basically. Everything they do is based on the word of the God Emperor. They carry that right with them. So they can command armies, they can execute anyone they want, and they can also destroy planets. That's called Exterminatus, which is always fun. Of course, they're police for themselves, and there's different forms of Inquisitors. They become puritanical or radical. Puritans look very much towards burning everything that is unholy, and radicals will occasionally use this little demon artifact they find and use it to defeat the enemies of mankind. Why not? Until eventually they get corrupted and become demon princes or get murdered by the Puritans. The world, the universe of Warhammer 40k is dark. It's grim dark. The grim dark of the far future, and there is only war. Mankind is alone in the universe, essentially, mainly because they like to butcher and murder every other alien species they come across. Explained in lore-wise, this is because 10,000 years ago, when mankind suffered the Dark Age, Age of Strife, the Age of Strife, the aliens decided to turn around and start murdering humans when they've been living in peace with them. We only really know from 30,000 to 40,000 what has happened in the 40k universe, 30,000 being the Great Crusade and the Horus Heresy, and 40,000 being the present time. We'll get into our first mission. So, Warhammer Inquisitor Martyr, the main storyline has you seeking out the Martyr, which is a huge inquisitorial ship. The tech tablet kind of skips that part and comes into the second half of the storyline, where you find the Martyr abandoned after you've nicked another Inquisitor ship and left them to die, which again is kind of light-hearted for 40k. So, we'll get started. Mankind in 40k is kind of the dominant species of the galaxy. Again, mainly because they've obliterated and murdered alien races here and there. Possibly the Tyranids might be a bit more numerous, but that's only because they're space bugs. So humans have colonized planets all across the galaxy in different situations. Now, the one thing with the 40k universe is if any humans develop any sort of deviation from the genetic prime, so mutations,
this Imperial facility has been abandoned for a very long time.
Spots in the wrong place, that can be viewed as a heresy and they'll get executed or murdered. Unless they're a beneficial mutation to the Imperium, such as Rattlings, Ogrins, Squats, but Warhammer never talks about Squats anymore.
Must have one of his secret hideouts, designated to aid his pilgrimage.
In many ways, a very hypocritical, but much like every political system of these days, anyway. So,
revert to priority assignment.
I believe this mission will be encountering some pointy-eared freaks called Eldar. The Hells with Warhammer 40k is essentially a fantasy universe in the future. So we're about to meet the space elves, essentially. They're very pompous.
Humans, no corner of the galaxy is free from their unfortunate existence.
I assume this one is with the Harbinger.
The Holy Terror.
Do you speak the language of dead gods?
Enough of this babble. Answer my question.
I thought so, monkey. You wouldn't understand our purpose here.
So they call us monkey, but monkey doesn't actually mean monkey in the Elder language, but obviously that's what they're trying to call us.
Interesting. Most Eldari either live on their star-faring craftsmen or sail as corsairs.
These are proven facts.
My point is that these Eldar don't look like corsairs. So what are they doing here? and they are showing more hostility towards the Imperium than usual.
Analysis shows that their tribal heraldry is unique. These Eldar specimens don't belong to any craft world listed in the folios of the Unholy in the ship databanks.
I must investigate these Xenos, but the Alpha Pariah is the priority.
X-loading the coordinates of the sensorium to your data slate. Access the surveillance system there. It could provide information on the Alpha Pariah and the Xenos presence.
So anything that isn't human in 40k is either a mutant or a Xenos, alien. Xenos, whatever you want to call it. Right, we're about to get ambushed, I think. Now see, again, as much as the storyline of the tech added to the start makes a bit of sense that you're going in to find your retinue, there's no way that you'd be going into an Inquisitor just going into this sort of situation on their own without at least half an hour.
Protocol Lexicon module has flagged an important information. Supplementary notes on the Eldar suggest that some of them might carry memory crystals, used for information
I mean,
storage.
you got some Inquisitors that do like
I will examine the bodies.
murdering left, right and centre, but again, they're not going to go and face against an unknown force of aliens
How can I access the contents of this crystal?
just on their own with some robots.
Secondary analytical coils activated. Converting an X-loading data to your data slate now.
You see there it says Caligari Conclave, which is the Inquisitorial Conclave we're working for, had an alliance informal with the Eldari, which is basically the formal name for Eldar. Would never be such a thing as a formal alliance with aliens between humans, because eventually we're going to turn around and murder them anyway. But occasionally you will join up together with them to face off against a greater threat, which could be Necrons, or Tyrants, basically, really, in the 40, and Chaos, of course. There's always Chaos.
Tech Priest, did you monitor any Vox activity recently on behalf of the Inquisitor stranded on the Martyr?
Negative.
Then the
So, Imperium 101, essentially in the year 30, just before the year 30,000, humanity was having a nice little time, golden age of technology. They were building things that were on scale unseen before, and then shit hit the fan. Massive warp storms started kicking around and cut off humanity across the whole galaxy. Warp is very, very bad. It corrupts anything it touches. So essentially the whole galaxy was just under this pale of corruption. Warp. In 40k, the warp is used to travel as well. So warp storms stopped them travelling in the warp. Essentially it's like Star Trek, they go a bit faster than light. Star Wars, they jump into hyperspace and use hyperspace routes. In Warhammer 40k, they go through hell, literally. They open a gate, they go through hell, and if they come out with fewer than 10% casualties in the ship, that's a good trip. Human life is very cheap in this universe. So yeah, shit the fan, warp storms started kicking around, and humanity basically started regressing in the galaxy to would have started regressing into pre-warp civilization, except for the Emperor. Big E, the Golden Boy, whatever you want to call him. The Emperor strode forth at this time and decided, no, I'm going to take over Earth. And he did so, with genetically enhanced soldiers called Thunder Warriors, and his own super genetically enhanced soldiers called Custodes. And they went forth and took over the Earth and Luna and Mars. At which point the Emperor decided that the Thunder Warriors weren't good enough and had them executed. And then he designed his own super duper genetically enhanced soldiers with the help of Luna and Mars, called the Space Marines. And he also created 20 genetic sons of himself, called the Primarchs, who were to lead his armies into the universe and dominate the galaxy for humanity.
A summary will suffice.
Tuathal is a minor craft world, primarily roaming
Now,
in the Caligari sector.
sounds very pretty and all that.
This
Sounds great for
megastructure has been
humanity. The
constantly
only
succumbing
problem
to a
is
significant
that
chaos
the Chaos
infection that
Gods,
is gradually turning it
who live in the
inhabitable.
warp,
The Tuathal Eldari
Gorm,
have been slowly
Nargol,
abandoning the infected
Zeech,
craft
and the
world.
newly born Slanesh, who was the cause of all the warp storms, they decided, no, we don't want these guys kicking around, and decided
Keep me
to
updated.
nick them and spawn them all across the galaxy. And probably corrupted them as well. And then the Emperor had to go, oh well, now I've got to go and find these kids that I just deleted. Which was not bad much. And so he used the genetic templates, all the Primarchs, to create more Space Marines, so they'd all have armies. And then he went forth into the universe, into the galaxy on a great crusade to find his sons and to unite all of Terra, the Imperium of mankind under his rule. He did find all his sons eventually. Well, two of them, we don't know what happened to them. Something happened to them, but the lore's always ambiguous, just to keep us guessing. And then he decided, right, at this point I'm going to go back to Earth and do some secret stuff, so I will leave control of the domination of the galaxy to my best son, Horus. Now, if you're new to 40k, then you'll know, you'll be like, okay. If you're not, and you've heard of the Horus Heresy, you know shitheads that.
Interestingly, Argos, we will
Eventually,
receive
Horus got corrupted by chaos, no thanks to a couple of people called Erebus and Lorgar, who every 40k fan pretty much hates Erebus. He's a dick. And he decided to... Horus decided, I'm going to rule the galaxy instead, because my father's been a bit of a dick to me. Which, to be fair, the Emperor was a major dick. Definitely not winning any Best Father of the Year award, I can tell you that much. So, he corrupted about half the legions, killed pretty much killed 2 legions off, and set across Earth, which took a long time, mainly because they went to storyline and warp hijinks. Travel in the warp does not equal travel in normal space. We get to Earth, they all have a big siege on Terra, which is the new series that we've got about at the moment. And eventually Horus and the Emperor face off against each other after Horus kills fabulous Hawk Boy, Sanguinus, the winged angel, one of the Primarchs, the Primarch of the Blood Angels, which was a fabulous Hawk Boy. And Horus absolutely kicks the crap out of the Emperor, chops
there
off
is
his
no
arm,
acceptable
lines
explanation for turning against the
stabs him
Imperium.
relentlessly, and only the Emperor cast out any love or hope that he had for his son and pierced him with a psychic attack so damaging that it destroyed Horus, which also at the same time
The results of biomass denial override the sanctity of a Xenos world.
The Emperor dying, you don't think is a really bad thing, but it turns out the Emperor is needed because the top secret project he's doing is related to a thing called Red Wave, which is how the space elves or the Elder basically travel, which negates warp travel. Which would mean that humanity would be free from the corrupting touch of the Chaos Gods. Unfortunately, that plan got ruined because of one of his other sons. This is a man who should not have children at all for the sake of humanity. His other son, Magnus, who decided to be a nice, helpful boy and send a warning to his father through barriers that the Emperor decided to protect the great project, which fortunately had unfortunately ripped apart the protection that the Emperor put on it and alerted the Chaos Gods to this great project, and they just sent an army of demons and Chaos Space Marines to completely ravage us. Eventually, the only way they can stop it is with a strong psychic presence sitting on the golden throne.
The spirit stones of our brothers and sisters are empty.
And the strongest psychic presence in humanity is the Emperor. So the Emperor had to sit on a golden throne for half the human heresy, protecting Terra from basically becoming the most shitfuck of warp storms ever.
Yeah, we have a new intruder.
So when the Emperor dies, talk to any proper Inquisitor about that, I'll tell him he's not dead,
Access the terminal to open surveillance mode and restore power to the facility.
What was I saying? Yeah, when the Emperor died, it kind of created a little bit of a problem because without the Emperor on that throne, humanity stopped. More reason. Thankfully, though, one of the Primarchs, Rogue's Dawn, Fist, he managed to grip the Golden Throne into a life support system. So, the barely alive Emperor was able to be supported, and thus was able to support the Imperium. Hurrah! Of course, this does mean that the Emperor has to be sustained by, I want to say, 1,000 psychic souls every day. They have to feed him 1,000 psychers being one of the rarest things in the Imperium, every day. And he also lives in conceptual pain and agony and misery for, well, eternity, because he's the immortal God Emperor. So, yeah, and that was a win for the Imperium at that point.
I've located the Alpha Pariah. She's on Shrine Level Alpha 4.
10,000 years of warfare has basically carried on since that point.
Be the power that
The
suffuses
Chaos
the ancient
Space
machinery in
Marines,
this
the
fortress.
traitor legions, got chased back to a region of space called the Eye of Terror, which leads into the warp, and they've hidden out there, occasionally coming out to do some damage here and there, called Black Crusades, normally led by Horus's favourite son, Abaddon. No, Abaddon of failure until the 13th Crusade, anyway. The Tyranids popped up into the galaxy. Basically, think of the bugs from Starship Troopers times that by 1 billion and have them eating everything. That's Tyranids in a nutshell. They've swarmed in from another galaxy and they're basically going to eat everything in this galaxy. They managed to stop 2 of the Hive Fleets. No one knows how many Hive Fleets there are. And it's also believed that the 2 Hive Fleets that came in were the smallest ones, and it took half the Imperium basically to stop them. lately in the lore, Abaddon came out for his 13th Black Crusade, popped out the Eye of Terror, attacked Cadia, as he normally does. Cadia is the world that is basically right next to the Eye of Terror, and it serves as a guard post against it. There's alien pylons on Cadia that make safe passage possible between the Eye of Terror and real space. So the Imperium has one of the biggest military bases on there, and Cadian troopers are like the most hardcore Imperial soldiers there are. Abaddon popped up for his 13th Black Crusade, decided this was the time he was going to do it, attacked Cadia. At the same time, one of the Necron dicks was popping around and nicking people here and there, and brought back an Inquisitor that he'd nicked a few hundred years ago. Who else did we have? All the Space Wolves were finding their wolfen kind here and there. It was kind of a good storyline, and then Abaddon decided to ruin it all by crashing a star fortress onto Cadia and destroying Cadia. The Black Fortress, that's what they're called. Alien star fortresses, which he nicked some of, and he basically was getting his ass kicked by... give me a second. Cadian General. I should know his name because he's great for... Lord General Ursakar E. Creed. General Creed is one of the greatest generals the Imperium's ever produced. He's the sort of man that has a backup plan to a backup plan to a backup plan. He's stopped Abaddon so many times, and other alien threats. And eventually Abaddon's got so pissed off with losing that he threw his toys at the pram, quite literally, and destroyed Cadia. This had a slight negative impact on the rest of the galaxy, which resulted in a huge warp storm just crossing across the whole galaxy, ripping the Imperium in half and consigning billions and billions of souls to internal torment in the warp. Didn't quite have the effect that Abaddon was hoping for, because it has made it a bit difficult for Chaos to work in, but finally had a bit of a result for one of his crusades. So as such, now the Imperium is a little bit stuffed. Which one do we want? It's not a terrible thing. It's because while Cadia was after Cadia got destroyed, which one do we want? After Cadia got destroyed, the survivors were brought back. The survivors were basically transported by a faction of the Eldar, who wanted to resurrect one of the Primarchs, Robote Guilliman, or Robot Guilliman, who was stabbed by his brother thousands and thousands of years ago and was put into stasis. And they managed to revive one of the loyal Primarchs, shall we say, and brought hope and justice to the Imperium again, because he went on a crusade and he kicked a lot of butt. The thing we've got to remember about this is that these are the good guys we're talking about. The good guys are the guys that commit genocide on a daily basis. They have no conjunction against murdering their own people for the right reasons. People are fed the dead. The dead are melted down and basically soil and green to people. And the Imperial War Machine is basically a meat grinder on steroids. I bloody love this universe. So, we just faced off against a load of Eldar who are hiding part of Uther's secret. Uther was an Inquisitor back in the day who created the Martyr, which is the ship we were chasing, and was also doing some really dodgy stuff. And we were chasing down one of his projects, basically. Right. So again, we're fighting off against Eldar. Everything's very gothic in the 4K universe.
Inquisitor, the Argus are detecting significant hostile forces on this level. Are you absolutely sure you want to go in alone?
This is the most optimal decision. Based on the facts I have gathered on the Alpha Pariah so far, she will be a valuable.
Alright, let's summon our things first. Right. Where are we going? So the robots I summon at the moment are Siloys. Basically, three of them are close combat and 2 of them are gunners. We eventually get better robots along the way. The funny thing is, in this dark age of grim dark universe, one of these robots is probably worth about half a planet, and we're just so callously summoning them and destroying them. It's one of the weird things about this game. I suppose there's no other way we can really have done it. Also, the force of Elder that you face off against, and this is quite largely they're a dying race. They don't have the numbers really anymore, especially this craft world. This craft world is half dead. It's amazing how many you think you've killed over time.
I have noticed a sudden swarm of cherubim. What is happening, Margos?
By restoring the power grid,
Cherubim are flesh constructs that have wings and they can use for monitoring, or they can use for chanting or other such things.
after an extended hibernation cycle.
We
You some
don't know
advice?
if they're actually
You can
like
access the
reprocessed
information
babies,
gathered at the cherubim
but that would be
shrine.
kind of
Yes.
fitting
Surveillance
for the
data is the
Grimdark universe at
prerequisite to
40k.
tactical planning.
Your energy weapons in this game have a tendency to overheat if you don't keep an eye on them. There's a cover system in this game as well, but I never really use it. Weird game because it was really hyped up for everything it was going to do in that, and it was really disappointing. It wasn't until it got really updated and upgraded that it was actually half decent. My favourite class is probably the Crusader class, because that's your power armor class. You're basically a walking tank. The only thing is, in the first iteration of the game, you went at about a tank speed. Power armor is designed to enhance your physical attributes. You should be walking normally as such. But no, it was like crawling along at a pace like this. Going through a whole level, just fighting the enemies of mankind that are still in space. It was ridiculous. Thankfully, with the updates they've done, it really made the game a lot more playable. Kind of similar with Chaos Bane. Chaos Bane had a really poor launch as well. Again, it's a game I quite like. Chaos Bane. It's the fantasy version of Diablo, basically. Tech shrines are basically little systems that give you boosts and boons. Cover's destroyable in the game as well. One thing we really updated in the last game is how destroyable it is.
Accessing the cherubim feed repository is the next logical.
Used to be you destroy cover and you wouldn't get anything. Now it's like you can find epic stuff. This stuff you've blown up. Normally just credits. Apparently, Chuck E. Chews don't have anything in them.
Teleport beacon in range.
See if any loot kicking around. Ooh, loot crate, let's see what's in it. Nothing great by the looks of it. Ooh, a neuro implant. Don't really do physical damage with this weapon. Don't do physical damage with this weapon. Poo. We'll go for that to do an extra shock on hit. I'll keep that. Another amusing thing is a teleport beacon. Teleport is basically teleporting through the warp in a short distance. It's something that you would not be doing just casually kicking around, and yet you teleport into every mission and teleport out of every mission. Again, how else are they going to do it in the game? But is not something that you do in the lore or in the board game. You'd be wearing like heavy tactical dreadnought armor if you're going through the warp, just for some sort of protection.
Harbinger's fate resonates in the future. We're at the crossroads where oblivion looms close.
The one who sees his own doom can better avoid its path.
Spare me. It's dangerous. If we choose poorly, not even the Whispering God can save us.
She is magnificent, isn't she? Like the death of a son.
Her sheer existence fills me with revulsion. She's just a monkey.
Quite the contrary. She has found from here.
The Harbinger's fate resonates.
Analysis. The Alpha subject currently unlisted in the classified Psyche Index. Was currently unlisted in the classified Psyche Index.
The potential of it.
So we're looking for a subject, something called the Alpha Pariah. In 40k, a Pariah is the opposite of a Psyker. It's someone who cannot be affected by Psychic powers, basically a blank in the warp. It also means they have no soul. And they are completely repulsive to normal people, especially Psykers. They can't normally do the kind of stuff you see in that video that we just had earlier, just destroying things left, right, and centre with their powers. But in this game they can. Which would be absolutely destructive to Eldar. Because Eldar are so scared of dying, because once they die, their soul goes into the warp, and Slanesh, the god that they created, is just waiting for them to nom 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 on them. So they have these things called Spirit Stones, and it basically stores their soul through their life, and when they die, Spirit Stone can get picked up and placed into the great spirit network of their craft worlds. The Infinity Circuit, that's it. Or put into a Wraith Lord or Wraith Guard. Basically turned into a robot. So an Alpha Pariah that was able to basically completely destroy souls would be destructive to the Elder, because bye-bye to their Spirit Stones.
I'm attempting to placate this ancient machine.
Ooh.
This is Inquisitor Kraber. This of the Holy Inquisition. We have received your code red extra-packet transmission.
Why don't you just wait for them?
The Alpha Pariah has no control over her abilities, and the Order Hereticus are not famous for their patience.
So there are commonly three branches of the Inquisition. The Ordo Xenos, which deals mainly with alien threats. The Ordos Hereticus, which deals with traitors, mutants, heretical threats against the God Emperor. And then there is the Ordo Malleus, which is the hardcore boys who deal with demons. They all kind of have their own little role to play in the Inquisition. They're all kind of dicks, so to each other. Again, it's a simple thing. You find a weapon like the Alpha Pariah who can destroy souls, which means it can destroy demons. What do you do? Because technically, in a way, they could be a threat to the Imperium. Imagine if one of them just got near. Imagine if the Alpha Pariah got near the Emperor. Boom! No more Emperor. Imagine if the Alpha Pariah got corrupted by chaos, which technically it can't be, but they could just be conversed into turning against the Imperium. And then you've got a weapon that's just walking around sucking the souls out of anything nearby. So, some Inquisitors would immediately terminate the Alpha Pariah as a threat against the Imperium. Others, well, she's a weapon. She can be used against chaos.
Are you trying to flee the mayhem of your own doing?
I am.
And that's more radical thinking. This is a Harlequin. Harlequins are weird.
What tragedy?
The heart of existence for a reason. She is either the fall or the last hope of
There's
your
subsection of the Elder who just
Is she now?
dance and twirl
Tell me everything
basically
about the Alpha Pariah,
with
or
really
I will
cool
kill
weapons
you.
and
You
some
have
really
no
cool
sense
rules.
of timing, human. Or suitable place and time.
What in the name of the Emperor was that creature?
A Harlequin, a member of an extremely militant and highly cultured subgroup within the Eldari race, belong to a faction.
Just see if we've got anything good. Really? Done that. Another treasure chest. I do have a tendency in these types of games to go exploring, finding every single thing, which means I normally play them for a lot longer than other people would do. I've got a clue, or maybe a blueprint. That's a blueprint, great. I'll look at the crafting system when we get back to the ship. Warp spiders are really cool in the 4K universe. Elder are really don't like the warp. They don't travel through the warp, they travel through the webway, which is basically tunnels cut through the warp so they're protected from the warp in case Slanesh pops along and tries to eat them. Warp spiders, however, actually utilise the warp as their weapon, and they will jump through the warp in short-range transport and teleports. Which is very risky because if it goes wrong, their soul gets numb-numbed. They're really cool in the proper board game, in the proper tabletop game. Probably one of my favourite units I ever had when I was playing Elder. You just bamf forward, shoot off your monofilament wire, which just cuts things to shreds. and that's back. And then just hoping you don't, I think it was if you rolled a double when you were rolling your distance, you got, one of your unit got nommed. I played many of the armies in 40k, way back from 2nd edition through. I've not played any of 7th, 8th, or 9th edition though. Mainly these days I'm more just painting and collecting. I've got a Death Guard army and a Necron army in process. Done up the rear there. So in this season journey, there's pilfered tech shrines, which basically give you extra loot, but you have to defeat forces. I better get sunned.
The persistence of your kind, Monkey, almost makes you interesting.
I will not rest until I have secured the Imperial subject.
Why? She is unnatural. She is everything we both consider repugnant.
That is totally irrelevant to the situation.
Still, you don't need to be concerned about her. We will need her alive.
Another memory crystal. It might contain new clues.
Let's go loot hunting.
Stay away from me. Did you see what I did to those... Elder?
Yes. I have the picked records of the entire encounter for further analysis.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I am an Inquisitor of the Holy Orders. I have been investigating the mysteries of Uther Tiberius. I'm here to take you to safety.
Uther Tiberius. What should I even call that man? My creator? My father? My nemesis?
I have insufficient information to answer your question at this time.
And what if I want to stay here? Will you kill me then?
Do you harbor any curiosity about your originals? Wouldn't you like to gain more information on your potential?
That's all I've ever wanted. But you didn't answer my question.
It was a foolish question. I can provide protection and a relatively comfortable existence for you. Rejecting my offer would be illogical.
I'll go with you. I don't feel I have any choice, anyway.
She doesn't. Back to the ship. I don't even know if a blank could be teleported through the warp. It'd be an interesting science experiment if blanks weren't like rarer than rare shit.
Inquisitor Granot, you may be relieved to know that I have completed my mission without your assistance.
We expected no less of you. However, I demand that you cease your involvement in this matter and place the Martyr and that Alpha Pariah into Ordo Hereticus custody.
I am a seeker of knowledge myself, and I shall be involved in the ongoing investigation.
Other Tiberius was a heretic. The Martyr has clearly been a hotbed of heretical activity. This is Ordo Hereticus jurisdiction, and we will purge every last hole of that accursed ship.
The decks are swarming with demons. Are you prepared to start a jurisdictional dispute with the Ordo Malleus as well?
I don't like your tone, Inquisitor. Not one bit.
We could make a compromise. I can give up the investigation on the Martyr, but the Alpha is the most intriguing asset for the Imperium we've had. I must study her abilities.
I usually don't compromise, but...
Yeah, Inquisitors don't compromise.
Against heresy. I am willing to make an but we might need your help as well. A sudden outbreak of potentially chaos-related infestation on Cascadia Prime requires attention. We need our forces on the Martyr. If you are willing to investigate the infestation, you can take the Alpha subject with you. The Martyr cannot leave this system, though.
I can accept that compromise.
Been a while since I've played this class. I want this tree just for that skill. That means you can summon your big chunky robots more of them. Let's see if we picked up anything good. Already got that blueprint, so we can sell that. It's a nice little Puri seal. So pressing triangle on your loot will give you a comparison between the loot that you've got at the moment, but you have to look at it to check to see if it's good or decent for you. Anything that does physical damage at the moment is not really useful for me because I'm doing heat damage with the weapon. You've got 3 damage types, and you've got heat, physical, and warp. They didn't really go too complicated on that front. I've got more booster. So crafting you basically break down stuff that you don't want into bits. I've got 789,000 thrones or credits, so I can just break everything down already. Now, one of the downsides of playing the Mech Tech Adept is that you don't get access to much weapons. It's a bit poor. But on my other classes, I've unlocked quite a few other things already, so we can get a new neural implant, which is a bit rubbish. A new inoculator, which is a decent one. A new eye implant, which is a decent one. And Fury Seal. Signums. Signums are basically enhancements for your weapons. So that's decent. That's not. So we can modify some of these things. So that we can change the physical vulnerability. So let's see what else we get for that. Mind link could be useful. We'll keep that. So that's fine. Oh, that was fine. That was fine. That was good. That one, we're changing physical damage. There we go. 2.4 damage. That was easy. So, new implant, new inoculator, new eye implant, new signums. Looking good.
Inquisitor, you promised me answers. Then you put me in another prison cell.
You are free to wander the vessel.
Right, so I'm allowed to leave this ship, where everyone is horrified or disgusted by me, for reasons I don't even understand.
You are the subject of a highly classified inquisitorial investigation, and you must be kept under constant surveillance.
So a prisoner. What have I done to deserve such fate?
You have done nothing wrong, yet. However, Tiberius abandoned you before you could perfect and expand your talents. Therefore, you pose a potential threat.
I don't know anything about that. I just have this energy inside me. Squeezing, stretching, sometimes snapping, and then bad things happen. Like when the Martyr arrived at that fort.
What happened?
I was in a haze. I remember that the talking flesh servants on the walls were screaming at me to hide, but I couldn't. And those elder came for me. Then I woke up properly and made them hurt.
We will study your abilities properly. I will make sure that you only use them when it is necessary.
Right. We can sell this loot. And we'll see if she's got anything decent for us. So you can modify your contract as well for a tech priest. What can we do? So range bonus 1 would not be useful for that one, it'd absolutely be useless. But life drain from elite skills, that would be useful. Give you some bonus health. Damage bonus would be useful. I'll give it the damage reduction for now. So, I don't really want the turrets because I don't really use them. That's right. I need to change my armor. So I need to change. No, that's not right. Investments. It's been a little while since I played the tech tab. Everything changed all around. Annoyingly. There we are. So we'll go for another sector because they're quite cute. There's no point giving them any modules. Right. Let's go. So we're teleporting down here to investigate a potentially plague threat. This would not be getting something because it would just be popping down on his own. He'd be sending down expendable units first.
The plague is clearly of warp origin, most probably caused
by
an
warp
as-yet
plague,
unrecorded pathogen.
which is probably means it's normal the god plagues, which means we're probably going to deal with demons. But again, I'll be going down with an army.
Exploiting the situation, leading an open rebellion.
According to Vox reports, the local forces have been overwhelmed, but there is an operational Astra Militarum outpost in the vicinity.
Affirmative. I will take over command.
Apologies for ruining the moment of victory, but the sensors show large forces headed towards you.
Is the local box station still operational?
According to the readings, it is.
Presence of the ruinous powers confirmed. Yeah. This is where you take off and exterminate the whole planet from orbit.
That
Captain Logren of the 12th Cascadian Regiment reporting for duty.
At ease, Captain. I need an update on the situation in the Hive.
It is really bad, Inquisitor. The upper hive has been overrun by these insane freaks. We have entire zones, dead and silent, that have entirely succumbed to this unholy plague.
Gather your forces, Captain, and assist me. The Emperor will guide us through these tribulations, Captain.
Ready to fight.
Under the old lore and rules of Warhammer, the funny thing is, one demon appearing on this planet, and we've just killed 3 of them, would mean probably the Inquisition would just nuke the entire sort of site from orbit. It used to be if you sent Imperial troopers into battle against Chaos, and they won, there'd be a big celebration, and then they'd all be executed for witnessing heresy. Space Marines, because they're a bit more valuable, they get mind wiped and retrained. So you can imagine that the Imperium has went through a few armies through the years. That board kind of changed now, probably because they realised it's a bit stupid having to fight, having to sacrifice your army. Sometimes just winning something a little bit bad.
Margos, I need your opinion on those unholy outgrowths.
The growths on the cadavers are small. Probably organic fire transmitters. The idea is that the pustules are emitting gaseous substances to hasten up the spreading of the plague.
Also, we just killed a Nurgle Hellbrute, which is not something mortals do. In lore-wise, I know it's only one Imperial trooper who has killed a Dreadnought in that Dreadnought, wounded and half dead. So, and we'll kill quite a few. Recharged. Grenades.
Secured. Cut through the mutant rabble.
One thing we did get right in this game is the tone of speech from some of the characters is like, cleanse this planet, destroy the unclean. It's exactly the sort of thing you'd expect to hear for a game.
The plague is indeed the result of an outdated mutagenic pathogen.
Only a very powerful entity of chaos is capable of creating something like that.
The analysis of the pattern verified my theory. The outbreak originated from a specific...
First, we need to purge this area. Otherwise, this hive is doomed. Activation shards initialized.
Your command.
This wretch was more than a simple grunt. He might have something that could tell me more about this plague. The entity that orchestrated this outbreak might still be on its way.
Perhaps we should evaluate the option to capture it alive, Inquisitor.
Always on the hunt for forbidden knowledge.
You are doing the Emperor's work, Inquisitor.
Activation sound initiative.
For the Emperor!
Let's see another Hellbrook. Imperial Guard tend to use las guns as their weapon choice, commonly called torchlights in the Warhammer, and effectively are. I mean, there's no way that las guns would scratch me up my armor like a Hellbrook. So, I mean, this kind of using in game.
Ready to fight!
Spoil wardens are part of the seasonal package, basically.
The afflicted section.
And it's just something that we done.
I will return to the ship before heading into the bowels of the city.
May I remind you that as long as the pathogen remains virulent in the host population, your achievement will be temporary.
When I burn out the source of this blasphemous plague, the Officio Medicae can deal with the survivors.
Also, the most hardcore Imperial troopers you've ever seen. You get shot at by pop guns and just pop down and get back up again.
Accessing the safety mechanism now.
For the Emperor! Onward! Don't linger, guardsmen!
take it like a man, guardsman. Map explored. No, it's ship. A few levels out. Got 5 skill points. So we went out of those ones. Right, do we get anything good? I'll do it for now.
I've analyzed your log several times, and I'm certain that the Alpha Pariah has the unique ability to completely destroy demons. Or banishment.
True. The data we have on her abilities is scarce with a greater demon on the Martyr.
That is why I want her to on the chaos-infested world during my mission. The powers could purge the infestation.
You are experimenting. Subject, Inquisitor. An idea worthy of a test.
A perplexing reaction. I was an adept of the cult mechanicus. The methods are all investigation.
I will prepare the Alpha subject and have the teleportarium ready when you call for her.
The time has come for you to join me on a priority mission. It is time to test your ability.
If I say anything, what am I supposed to do?
We will enter a hive in the thralls of a chaos infestation. I want you to implore you to put an end to that foul contamination.
No! Absolutely not! I lived through that nightmare countless times. Walls thick with muck, shambling shadows on the corridors, the growling of those creatures. No!
Your fear of chaos is understandable, but you are far from defenseless. This was not a request, by the way.
Are you willing to kill me if I disobey? Or am I too valuable for that?
So this is where we get to the morality choices in the game. Am I a radical or a puritanical? And you think radical is a more ego choice, but radical tends to be the more I'm a nice guy choice. Puritanical is the best choice to the Imperium, but yeah, you don't care. Occult Mechanicum Adepto. I do not understand emotion as such. Tact is not in my vocabulary.
Ours could save him from the forces of darkness, and it shall be Argos biologists and her servo-chirurgeons. You will not die. You only wish you had.
I don't... Yes, I understand. I will go with you.
Right.
Approaching the site where the plague originated. Beware, the sensors are indicating increasing warp activity in the area.
I interpret this as a confirmation. My prior must have learned of my arrival. In any case, it is the perfect opportunity to test the Alpha Pariah's unique abilities.
I don't even know what I should do.
Just do whatever you have already done several times when you tried to protect yourself.
Yeah. The ground is very juicy. Probably because you're walking through a lot of corpses. Weapon, let's see what we've got. Is it any good? Does a lot more damage apart from that. It's not the best thing.
Regarding your uncertainties, I wonder why Uther Tiberius didn't train you.
Uther was a genius, but also a terrible mentor.
If it helps, I'm inclined to avoid his mistakes.
It helps a little, yes.
There's one bit of advice I can give for this game: you have to keep an eye out for these Warhammer skulls and destroy them as soon as you can. Because otherwise you set up some bloody annoying trap. Like we'll set up an alarm beacon. Traps that those skulls probably set off, which is summoning a load of floating mines or something. Just gets irritating after a while. You also need to keep an eye on your bombs as well. They'll die, especially when you start getting to the heavier levels. If you don't have any of the equipment designed to resurrect them or heal them.
Somebody will pay for it, no bought out.
Has it occurred to you that maybe you are the one who should be afraid of me?
Are you threatened?
I have no control over my abilities. That's all.
Heal again. Look. Oh, yes. A demon army we're basically facing.
It is time. Unleash your powers on the whole.
Are you sure you want me to do this?
This is your primary function. Should you fail to comply, you will probably die.
It is too much. I don't know if I can control it. Yes, I can do this. Perish!
Initial test phase
Okay,
completed.
then need an army.
Subject's potential is remarkable, but control remains unstable. Tech Priest, I need her back on the ship now.
Experiencing recurring calibration problems. Small anomalies combined with the subject's distortion field are hindering return teleportation.
This location is extremely unsafe for her.
Correct. Sensors indicate large hostile forces inbound.
I'm ordering the assistance of the Astarte Sergeant. You can revert the teleporterium sequence, I presume.
It was wise of you. No one will withstand my righteous fury.
Try to keep your head clear, and focus on the protection of the Alpha Pariah. Their survival is paramount.
Rest assured, not a single abomination will live long enough to get to her.
Tech Priest, why haven't you evacuated the Alpha?
Calibrating teleporterium sequences. Chance of failure calculated and acceptable. Attention, notify the source of Imperium fluctuations.
It was hardly a revelation.
young woman really worth all this trouble? Not that I need any excuse to kill Phil. Just wondering.
She is an Imperial citizen, Thorn, and a very important one to that.
A pariah. And I just can't help feeling revulsion when I frown at them. Not to mention...
She can destroy Davis. The galaxy is burned, and those powers are the most valuable assets we have ever had in the most ruinous powers.
Chances of successful teleportation are currently at 95%.
Run me the worst-case scenario for the Astartes and the Alpha Pariah.
Their physical bodies will disintegrate. Regarding the spiritual component, you can access reference material flagged as unconfirmed.
I find the chances suboptimal, but acceptable. Initiating elegy canticles.
Do you see how fragile your master's so-called Imperium is? How imperfect you all are? This insight is a gift from our benefactor.
Who would that be? Another pitiful traitor yearning for vengeance on his former...
Alas, I cannot share his name with you. His genius will turn the Karagari sector into the most beautiful garden of Nurgle.
Not on my watch. I will burn out this rot with the sacred fire of the Emperor.
Such a true pity that I must kill you so abruptly. Why not? Your flesh will be wonderful gifts for the Grandfather.
This is most disturbing. The entire here. Accessing the sacred mechanism now. Defense
see if we've got anything good there. Damage one. These couple of blueprints. Oh, it's Fabius
by the Emperor, the primogenitor.
Ah, Inquisitor. I've been expecting you. I am truly disappointed, though, that you came alone.
I know. I've been well aware of your plan for a while now.
I've been hunting your kind for a long time. But I never dared to hope that the Dark Gods would send me the one who has the Alpha Pariah. Tell me. Now.
Divulge any information to you, traitor.
The Anathema Ultima. The whatever you want. But she is mine! I have been trying a precious experiment since that perfidious Tiberius took it out of my hands!
You might begin to see a pattern here.
Oh, I will take you. We will experiment, you and me, to see where the threshold of Ring lies for you. Then you will be ready to deny the master and beg for my forgiveness. listen to a decaying emperor most. However, I have to stop you. You simply cannot defeat me. Should you be victorious this time, Martyr, you will have to face me again and again until you will.
It's very true. Hades Bile has so many clones. You never know who the real Hades Bile is.
Your existence is a curse upon this world. Judgment will finally find you.
Another Inquisitor? This plan seems to be working splendidly, if I do say so myself.
For your innumerable crimes, your sentence is death. Delivered here and now.
You are wasting the dwindling resources of your pathetic Imperium. I am one of many. Even if you succeeded, you would accomplish nothing. But you won't.
Lies upon lies. The judgment of the Emperor is upon you, heretic.
Inquisitor, next time I expect you to bring what belongs to me. Until then...
You set me up, Inquisitor. What's worse, you have risked an extremely important Imperial asset. I should bring this to the Conclave.
Spare me the indignation. My order knew that Fabius Bile is here in the Caligari sector, and we have been hunting for that traitor for a very long time.
And from your perspective, the demise of Bile is the ultimate priority.
Obviously. Appreciate the irony, Inquisitor. Bile set a trap for us that we used to entrap Bile.
I disagree with your priorities, but I must approve the logic behind your reasoning, even if Bile has escaped this time.
Look.
Inquisitor, we have... Elder have returned.
Those marauders desperately want the Alpha Pariah.
Since their last attempt, the Tech Priest has stationed a host of combat servants. The Automator will slow them down.
I'm on my way. I will take...
I'm beginning to appreciate the persistence of these Dark Elder. They give me ample opportunity to strike fear into their rotten hearts.
The Drukhari breached Section Theta 7, so they will have to cut through here on their way to the vaults.
Well, they can... Pull ahead. We can take up defensive positions there.
We are in position.
We really shouldn't overcome...
Looks like your wish will be...
Activation sounds initialized.
These abominations as they self-believe danced. They are insane flesh numbers of the brave torturers, these most found.
filthy vermin that breaks through the doors. With the rebel. But where is the leader? I want to tear that cowardly worm apart.
The dreadful marauder.
What else would you expect from a Drukhari?
Inquisitor, bioscans are complete. The remaining Xenos invaders have been located.
Very well.
Let's see what we picked up. There was something orange. Orange is the best. No, red is the best thing. Orange is reasonably decent. Nice.
My sacred duty is to eradicate these Drukhari torturers from this sector.
Your sacred duty is to invade like a person, but I appreciate the passion.
So yeah, in the grimdark far future they use bits of humans and half-dead humans for computer parts, because very much like Dune, it's suffer not the machine with a mind to live. There's some serious trouble, some AI back in the golden age. So yes, this is basically half a dead human used to write reports by the looks of it.
assassin. Sadistic wretches. They are a blight upon this galaxy. A diminishing blight.
Yeah, the Elder back before in the day were basically porn-crazed, drug-taking maniacs, and they kind of fucked their way into bringing Slanesh into existence, which destroyed about 90% of their race. So your normal Elder at the time now are basically like Vulcans. They suppress their desires and they concentrate on a single path at a time. The Dark Elder though are basically didn't really get those directives and just decided to carry on. They're dark depraved, they like torture, skinning people alive, keeping them alive after they're skinned alive, all that sort of thing. Not my favourite race in the game.
No pity, Inquisitor.
You should have fled again when I killed your precious fortunes.
They were that precious.
Was it worth it?
How did they know about the Alpha Pariah?
It is indeed a most pressing question. We cannot leave her unguarded. The Drukhari have proven that they are the masters of the ambush, and they can strike with their cloaked vessels from the webway. From now on, you are on constant guard duty, Sergeant.
Understood, Inquisitor. Although I still believe you could benefit more from my presence on the field of battle.
perk. Let's go for... I've got one that's... I thought I'd already unlocked that one. Never mind. That one will do. Well, it's already the same one I had to do. Rubbish. Intel can give you a special mission, but I tend to sit at lower levels because I need the loot. Let's see if there's any good.
As per your request, I have executed thorough analytical sermons, focusing on the Alpha subject's mental stability.
Give me a brief update.
The Alpha subject seems to bear the traces of deep mental conditioning, most probably conducted during her early sessions with Uther Tiberius.
Does that affect her abilities?
Probably not. Her will is adamant, but it might result in erratic behavior, which is quite a risk with her capabilities.
Inquisitor, There is an astropathic message for you from an agent of the Ordo Xenos. The embedded emotional markings indicate that it is urgent.
Inquisitor. I am Inquisitor Theodon Mercer of the Ordo Xenos, currently stationed on Heliodor 4, vigorously protecting the Inquisitorial archives, with special regard to the sensitive materials stored in the vaults. I will cut to the chase. I urgently need your help. You are probably wondering why I have contacted you, and rightly so. The facility where I'm holed up is under the attack by the Tuatha Aldari. You have already made their acquaintance. They are looking for classified Ordos material on... how shall I put it? On the unique presence you have on your ship. I hope I have your interest now. Out, and I can promise you the answers you seek. I also have Amasek and cigars. The Emperor protects.
How can this Inquisitor know?
I have no idea. He left me no choice, though. I must find this Mercer and talk to him. Captain, this world is fighting off an Eldar invasion. The epicenter of this incursion is the Holy Archives of the Inquisition. Inquisitor Mercer, as the appointed guardian, must be there. Escorting the communication is a logical step. The Eldar must be behind it.
Ready to fight. Linger, guardsmen.
That must be the source of those Tell me, how does an Ordo Xenos agent end up guarding the archives on a backwater world?
I'm supervising the rituals of preservation for classified data.
So, you have been reprimanded. Why?
If I recall Lord Maldor's exact words, being a reckless idiot who needs to learn a man's patience. Alas, it's classified.
Inquisitors cannot be ordered around like servitors.
Trust me, if your only alternative is excommunication, you'll become quite awkward.
Ready to fight.
The Eldari are using the Redway Gate to move in their forces.
My professional advice would be to blow it to cinders.
Redway Gate has been destroyed.
Oh, marvelous. No reinforcements for a while, then.
For the Emperor! Onwards! Don't linger, guardsmen! For the Emperor! At your command.
I have located and secured the entrance to the archives.
Feel free to visit.
I will join you.
By all means. I'll try my best.
Inquisitor, you have a the Caligari Conclave.
I am Inquisitor Helena Goslar, and I have an assignment for you. I am aware that you are conducting a highly classified investigation for the... Although I must admit I don't know any further details. To my utter amazement, sufficient to access your records. In other words, I can't command you to abandon your main investigation, but the Conclave would appreciate if you could take another case as well. Travel to the hive world of Atheon Prime and look into the case of the mass disappearances that has baffled the Adeptus Arbitis. In case you are wondering why you are tasked with such a trivial issue, I want you to watch a highly confidential picked recording. It was made by an infiltrator of the Inquisition, and as you will see, it proves the existence of some unholy machinations on Atheon Prime. I must also add that this recording was made 30 standard years ago. I hope I have your interest now, Inquisitor. The Emperor protects.
The Emperor protects. mercy.
Fresh out of Hammer's second cigars. I have a new Aldari contingent moving in for all your entertainment needs.
These Eldar seem really persistent. It is time to combine our forces.
My thoughts exactly.
Blowing things up, but I got red armor from destroying plus you get gold out of it, so it'll
Tell me more about these Eldar invaders.
They have arrived with a fairly substantial force, I'm afraid. Their Farseer will resort to his favorite tactics and use Wraith constructs to get to the data vault.
You sound like you know him very well.
Actually, we go way back. And in case you wondered, yes, his heartwarming visit is related to that unique person on your ship.
That is all classified. You should have informed me about the Farseer's information.
Have you ever tried making conversation with a Farseer? It's like interpreting a fever dream. I didn't even realize what his words meant at the time. history with the Conclave, I wouldn't want to have to explain the destruction of the data vault.
I'm still baffled as to why the Eldar dedicated such efforts to invading this place.
They must think that they'll find something here they can use to save their craft world. You must not forget that the Eldari are a dying race, clinging to every shred of hope.
You are demonstrating almost alarming levels of empathy.
Execute somewhere on one.
I don't know about you, but I could do with a stiff drink right now.
You seem quite flamboyant for an agent of the Holy Orders.
What can I say? I have spent decades in disguise as the rogue trader captain of the good ship Storm Skipper. And certain things will rub off.
What exactly? Navigational skills?
I'm quite proud of my meticulous paperwork. And I can always find a great inn in any void port.
objective hasn't changed, Sergeant. You must protect the Alpha Pariah.
With all due respect, Inquisitor, I feel that we are wasting my potential here. But I will obey.
No, you want to get this fun. Thing is one of these computers is the most horrible tech ever seen. I seem to be a bit better with physical skills now.
So this is their target. This data vault stores classified inquisitorial records. Judging by the classification entries, the dossier on the Martyr investigation could also be here.
The Elder must have been trying to locate the Martyr.
I'd rather put it differently. They have been, definitely, after the Alpha Pariah.
A valid theory. The traits make her capable of cleansing it.
Absolutely. Therefore, they will not retreat until their Farseer is dead.
Bit.
Inquisitor Mercer, fate has brought us together again.
I wish we had met under different circumstances.
This is the path we must walk, and it ends here for one of us. Before I become part of the Infinity Circuit, you must know something.
Wait, I'm initiating pit recording.
We never wanted to harm that unique individual. We only wanted to take her to our craft world.
You wanted to cleanse your dying world?
That is our only purpose.
And why did you need these Imperial archives?
I have no interest in your petty secrets, but I saw that you would come. You, the key to the Anathema Ultima. The Harlequin warned us not to take this path, but we didn't have any choice.
What can you tell me about the Harlequin?
She cannot be trusted. She has her own agenda. She walks the seventh path. Her fate is linked to the Whispering One.
What the fuck? Know your own plan. Maybe this one's better. What you're saying. Mix.
I've answered your plea and launched a rescue operation to save you. You still owe me some answers about the Alpha Prior.
I'll be completely honest with you. I can't answer your questions. Don't do anything impulsive. Help you.
And who would that be?
A Harlequin. You'll be pleased to hear that you have already met her.
You are playing a dangerous game here, Inquisitor.
This is not a game, and we both know the Harlequins hold secrets. I'm talking about the fabled Black Library, of course. The source of all ancient and forbidden knowledge.
The existence of the library is known only to a few Eldar, and even fewer are allowed to enter.
The Harlequins are the exception. See? It was worth hearing me out.
I don't like the way you set me up, Inquisitor, but I need answers. Do you happen to know where I can find this Harlequin?
As a matter of fact, I do. On the planet Loriark.
The exterminated maiden world of Craftworld to Athal.
One of the few truly charming corners of the subsector.
I can only imagine. That is my next destination, then.
Do the first mission of the secondary chapter, the enemy below, and then we'll call it a night.
the Underhive to investigate the case of mass disappearances. Talk to me.
Information schematics received from Adeptus Arbeit's operatives have been analyzed. The applications indicate cult activity. Data coverage is insufficient, but this is the location where most abductees disappeared.
Can you scan the area? Until now, only the Underhivers have been affected. The abductions are beginning to threaten the stability of the hive itself. We have no time to lose.
Agreed. Current procedure is inefficient. Deploying Scryer Skull units immediately. Initiating data agnostic litanies.
I will follow the trail of the Underhive. Contact me when it passes.
What happens when you go across the skeleton.
Reconnaissance ritual completed. 3 locations identified with the highest likelihood of yielding further intelligence. Praise the Omnissiah.
The Omnissiah in this case is the mechanical version of the Emperor. Either the mechanical version of the Emperor or a Necron. And not a Necron, it's a Tan hidden beneath Mars.
I must press on.
Go out the other two locations, just make sure there's no loot kicking around. Both these locations are traps, if I remember rightly.
Data agnostics are becoming extremely difficult due to interference. There is a high probability of harmful devices in your
Calculations are correct, but late. Again.
activating penitent circuits on the data serfs for their sluggish processing.
Teleport beacon in range. Such a crude trap against an Inquisitor. Priest, he failed to mention that the Hive scum were preparing an ambush.
Encounter with the enemy is by definition the mark of a higher level of intelligence.
I prefer not to walk into traps. Next time, warn me in advance.
Affirmative.
No, I can imagine they take it. Imbecile. Clicky idiot.
Teleport beacon in range.
Right, we'll carry on with the adventures of Sloth-X420 next week. Many thanks to my new followers. Thank you very much. Video will be going online onto YouTube and Facebook at some point. I'm doing a 24-hour gaming marathon on for Blue Cross for Pets. So that would be greatly appreciated. The link will be on my Facebook page. Thanks very much. So very much appreciated. You all have a good week and